Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rahmi Isma Aziza. I'm from Janapuriya, Central Lombok. I'm a student of SMP Unggulan Hamzanwadi. I'm a storyteller. My storyteller, the subtitle is The Legend of Batu. In an old village in East Lombok, in a place called Padamara, there lived a poor husband and wife who struggled every single day just to survive. Their names were Ama Lembayin and Ina Lembayin. They lived very simple life. They owned no rice fields, no livestock, and sometimes they didn't have enough food to eat. But despite their poverty, they had two children whom they loved more than anything in the world. From this humble family, a legend was born, the legend of Batu. That morning, a tin mist floated above the rice fields. The sound of the rooster echoed from afar. Ina Lembayin prepared her old moving basket, while Ama Lembayin tied a cloth around his waist before leaving for work. Their two little children sat quietly in front of a fragile bamboo house. They were hungry. They had been no food left since the day before. Ina looked at her children with sorrowful eyes. Please be patient, my children. Mother will work harder today so we can eat tonight. The children nodded quietly. That morning, they once again walked from village to village looking for work. They would do anything to survive, sometimes carrying firewood, sometimes helping in the rice fields, sometimes pounding rice for other people, anything for their children. The day grew hotter. The sun burned fiercely overhead. Eventually, Ina and Ama arrived at villager's house where several women were pounding the rice together. In the middle of the yard stood a rich wooden mortar. With hopeful eyes, Ina stepped to work. Excuse me, may I help you pound the rice? The owner of the house looked at the family with pity. Of course, we'll give you rice after work. Hearing that, Ina smiled with relief. She immediately began to work. Tuk, 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 tuk. The wooden pestle rose and fell heavily against the rice. Meanwhile, since there was no here else for her children to say, Ina asked them to sit a red flag to Nervy. Stay here and don't go anywhere. The children obeyed. At first, everything seemed normal, but slowly the stone began to move. Little by little, it started to rise. The older child became frightened. Mother, the stone is moving. But the sound of the rooster echoed from afar. Tuk, 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 tuk. Ina could not hear them. The sun rose higher and higher. Soon it was as tall as the coconut trees. The wind began to blow violently. Dark clouds slowly covered the sky. The children cried in fear. Mother! Villagers started to panic, to point toward the sky. Look! The sun is moving! People screamed in terror, but Ina was to focus on her work, desperately trying to earn rice for her family, until finally she turned around and suddenly her whole body trembled. Her children were already high above the sky, carried away by the giant stone. The wooden puzzle slipped from her hands. "My children!" Her cry started in air. She ran after the flying stone, screaming and crying hysterically. But the stone kept rising, higher, faster, beyond her reach. Inak Lembain kept running, shipped rocks to her feet afar. But she didn't care. All she wanted was her children back. "Oh, good. Please return my children." The villagers could only watch helplessly. No one could save them. Anak Lembain, who had just returned from work, was shocked to see crowd gathering. When he learned what had happened, he collapsed to the ground. The orioles, the grieving parents approached the village. The sky grew darker. The wind howled fiercely. Lightning flashed across the clouds. Boom! Suddenly, a giant bolt of lightning struck the flying stone. Crash! The stone shattered little many pieces. Fragments of it fell across different pillars around its village. People believe the stone fragments later became the giant rocks scattered around the Padamar area. And ever since the day, the stone became known as Batu Golok. Since the tropic day, the story of Batu Golok has been passed down from generation to generation among the people of Lombok. Not merely as a legend, but as a reminder that no matter how hard it becomes, family is still the most precious things of all. Because sometimes regrets come only when it's already too late. Even today, people still believe Batu Golok sound as silence was to mother's sorrow. A mother with lost her children while struggled to survive. And through quiet lights, the sun continues to life go, told again and again throughout generation. The legend of Batu Golok teach us that the love of family is way more than anything else for the world. Never is later image of little children make you forget your people you love. Thank you. That's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.